Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Knight of Cups. This is one of your superpower cards, right? This is a card that represents the Cancer energy in action. This is a cardinal water energy, fire of water, right? Passionately pursuing this purpose, pursuing the Holy Grail, giving and receiving love and affection. This is a card that is very, very active in expressing that inner nature. It is a passionate following of the heart, right? We got to put this card into some context. We got to see what's going on here. You've got a Nine of Wands. When you're pursuing your purpose, you have the strength of the entire universe, right, motivating you. So this is the idea that when you are following your purpose, when you believe in what you're doing, when you feel a personal connection with your activity, you do a better job. You have more strength. You have more motivation. You're able to move mountains, right? Lift cars off of things and flip tires or whatever. You're stronger when you really truly believe in what you're doing and you feel connected to it. You feel a sense of purpose. You're more motivated, right? Very simple fact. And I feel that you're feeling that strength, right? The Nine of Wands is also a promise. I feel like you're committing to something here. Our next card is, there's that doorway to the future, right? You're ready to commit to something and change your life. You have the intuition, the High Priestess. This is a full moon energy that's backing you, right? You got that Ten of Cups up top. And you've got the moon card, the waxing, the new moon. You have a full moon, you have a new moon. Waxing, waning, lunar energies. Very interesting in your future position, that moon card. Here we have a Queen of Swords, an Eight of Swords, a Prince of Swords, and a Three of Swords. Look at all this air energy now. We have all this water here, right? The intuitive energy, the fire, the motivation. And then we kind of saying, yeah, but what if, maybe, I don't know. We have all these doubts and things to worry about over here, right? As usual, Cancer, your biggest challenge is going to be your own mind, okay? And the doubts and the sort of the mental anguish and the sort of the thinking and the rethinking and the overthinking and the analysis, and that's going to interfere with what your heart is telling you. And that's, I think, this is almost a stereotypical Cancer reading, right? You feel things so intensely, and then your mind sort of gets in the way and says, well, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do it. Maybe I can't do it. Maybe it's going to go horribly wrong, right? Let's select our mystery card, all right, and then we'll get into it. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're going to just set this down right here with our little octopus friend, the Eight of Pentacles, right there on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and hopefully give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. Let's take a look around the room. Let's see what we have again. We've got major, major, major. You are being cradled by this divine energy, right? This divine energy is surrounding you. Okay? You have the fluctuation of the lunar energy, but underneath you have the fire of spirit. Okay, and up top you have really the intensity of this water energy. You really are surrounded by this divine energy. You're definitely cradled by the major arcana here. We've got fire here. We've got water here. We've got air, 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 air. We have no earth energy. And there's no earth energy because this is something that you have yet to really do. Okay? This is something that I think you want to do. This is something you need to do. Something you're motivated to do. Something you're strong enough to do. Something Spirit is pushing you to do. But we've not yet done it. Okay? What we have to do is make the decision, the conscious mental decision to do it. We have to formulate a plan, and we have to execute that plan and get to it. Okay? And that's what I feel is this is a kind of a transition in your life where we're sort of sorting out the mental aspect of something. The heart's in the right place. The will is in the right place. It's just the mind now. It's got to sort of make sense of it. I can figure a few things out. I got to mentally prepare. I've got a few problems to solve, maybe a few loose ends to tie up, and then we're ready. Right. But the nine of Wands right here in the center. It's sort of asking you to make that commitment, to feel this surge of willpower in yourself and to do it, to do this thing, to commit to whatever this is. The Nine of Wands is sometimes this idea of if I give my word, if I make the promise, I'm not going to back out. If I commit to it, then I kind of have to do it. You know, it's the way you might sign up for the marathon, and then it's like, okay, now I have to do it. And maybe it's really, in a way, the absence of the earth cards. It could be saying that maybe what you really need to do is put your money where your mouth is. Pay the fee already, and then you're gonna show up, you know? So it's like you commit yourself in such a way that now, no matter what my mind does, I'm not backing out. I'm committed to it. I've already paid the money for it. I have to go. No matter what my mind says, I'm already committed, right? So I feel like this is you really putting down the down payment. This is you really making the promise that you are not going to allow yourself to break, okay? Now, underneath the surface, we've got the Eon card, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. You know that this is a commitment. This is a trip, a journey, a path, a project, an endeavor that is going to, an expedition that is going to change your life. And this is a card that says, you know, you're ready to change your life. You're ready to walk through this doorway and level up. You're ready for all the intensity that comes with leveling up. So maybe this is, you know, you're going to go apply for that job. You're going to finally move to where South America, whatever it is. That doing this thing that you're putting a down payment on, you know it's going to change your life. You know that it is going to level you up and it's going to open this tremendous door, but you also know that it's difficult for you to do it. It's difficult to get up and change our life, you know. But you're ready. You want it. And you want it. And you know that it's kind of like you feel that it's time. Sometimes the Judgment card is like the spiritual alarm clock. And I think the alarm's going off. It's basically saying, I know I need to do this now. I know that the time is perfectly ripe for this. It feels like we're right in between the full moon and the new moon. And it's kind of like the window of time is sort of closing, and pretty soon it's going to be darkness, right? So I feel like this is really the perfect reading for you right now. In the background, we do have this full moon energy, and this is the bright idea, right? This is when we're sort of moonstruck with an idea where it's just like, I've fallen in love with something. This is the greatest idea I've ever had. This is like a light bulb going off on top of our heads, and we're in awe of this, and we feel so inspired. And this was like, this is the great idea. This is the best thing I've ever thought of. Maybe this has led you to this commitment, and you put the down payment, and now we kind of are starting to feel like, oh man, what did I get myself into? What did I sign up for? Because this is that moment where we're so excited. We're over the moon, right? We're so excited to do this. This is when we're seeing this, we're in awe of this bright light. And we just want to do it. And we feel so fired up. We feel so ready. And I cannot wait to do it. And so we put the down payment on it. And now that the time is getting closer, here's the Ten of Cups. We're starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed. Sometimes this is too much emotion, right? This is a little bit over the top. Now it's kind of like all my excitement, all my love now is turning to like anxiety. Now I'm nervous. Now I feel like it's kind of like, it's this big looming weight. It's this big heavy responsibility on top of me that's sort of weighing me down now because now I have to do it. I've committed to something, and now that the day is approaching, we're starting to feel a little bit emotional about it. We're maybe freaking out a little bit, right? Because it feels like now the reality is setting in, and how big this really is, how significant this is going to be for you. And maybe it really is like a relocation. Maybe it's taking that new job, or you got that promotion, and you've really committed to doing something, and the closer it gets, the more we realize that it's kind of overwhelming. Okay, the Ten of Cups is a lot of emotional energy. It's kind of an extreme. Like this is what back here was just elation, jubilation. I am so absolutely excited. I don't even have the vocabulary to express, right? How excited, how fired up I am, and how much in love with this, how good it's going to be. And then we take that same Ten of Cups and we put it next to the Moon card, and we think, I am so freaked out. I'm so nervous, like I'm biting my nails down to the cuticle. I'm overwhelmed by this thing now. Overwhelmingly kind of nervous, right? Here, it's okay. Here, it's kind of, I don't know what I got myself into. We're looking at the Moon card in this future position, and we're expecting this to be a nightmare. Back here, it was the dream. It was the beautiful dream. Here, it's the nightmare. Okay? And the other way, it's extreme. This is the best dream I've ever had, right? The dream of a lifetime. Here, it is the nightmare of a lifetime. And there's no turning back. We've committed. All right? But the thing about the Moon card is that the secret is sort of built into this card because of that little sun at the bottom. It's kind of saying that, yeah, this might be scary. You might be looking into this doorway of nothingness where it's uncertainty. It is a doorway of just black. I cannot see what's on the other side of this. It's a dark, scary forest. It's a wilderness. It is a nightmare landscape. I don't know what's waiting for me. And I'm scared. Right? But the secret is that once you get there, once that sun, you, gets there, things are going to brighten up a little bit. You're going to see what is actually there. Right now, it's so scary because we don't know what it is. It's a fear of the unknown. Once we get there, it starts to slowly become known. It's not so scary. Our eyes adjust because we are the light. But until we get there, yeah, we're going to be freaked out because I don't know what's waiting for me. The reason it's scary is because it's unknown and it's uncertain. But if it wasn't scary and unknown and uncertain, it wouldn't be life-changing. So this all works out, okay? This all works out for you. And I think that we have this sort of waxing and waning energy of the moon, the full moon, new moon, the waxing psychic energy and the waning psychic energy. I feel like you are kind of dealing with these mood swings about it. And it may be one day we're very hopeful. We feel like this is the dream come true. A little while later, we're sort of freaking out. Okay? Palms are getting sweaty, But it comes with the territory. This is all to be expected. It's not weird. It's not, there's nothing wrong. This is what you're supposed to be feeling. But it is pretty intense. It is pretty heavy. Okay? And I think the anticipation is always worse than the reality. let's say this is a big performance, right? And of course, before we get on stage, it's like, I don't want to do it. I want to back out. Can I back out? Can I cancel? No, you already committed. You're going out there. And it may be that we're really like our stomach's starting to hurt. We're running to the bathroom. Our palms are getting sweaty. We can't talk. We're shaking. We're trembling. As soon as you get out there and you just start doing your thing, whatever it is, maybe you're performing or something like that, you're going to be great. You are the sun. You are this light that is entering into this situation. You are the brightness here, maybe this is a commitment to a race or something. Maybe you signed up for one of these Spartan races. And it is scary. Once you get there and you start doing it, you realize this isn't so bad. Yeah, it's going to be challenging. It's going to kick your butt. It's going to lay you low, right? But it's not scary in any other way. Like it's not emotionally, I'm not fearful of this thing. I'm physically intimidated, yeah, but not with this emotional intensity. It's so scary because it's unknown. It's unpredictable, it's uncertain. Once we get there and we take a look around, we say, okay, I can be comfortable here. I can focus on what I really need to do, which is getting through it physically, right? Which is actually doing the thing, whatever it is. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Okay. Your general energy is one of this higher perspective of the Queen of Swords, trying to take a look at everything from sort of bird's eye view. Putting it into perspective sometimes helps. Sometimes lets us see that, okay, I'm not in the middle of this anxiety. I'm not being crushed under the weight of this emotional energy. I get to sort of look back and take everything in, take the context in of the bigger picture here. And it makes it seem a little bit less intense. When you're right in the middle of the energy, it's sort of hard to see anything else, So we get a perspective on, the past and think, you know what, I was really excited when I committed to this thing, and I know it's going to be good for me. I know it's going to change my life. I know that it's going to be really intense. I know that it's something that I'm not familiar with. I believe this is something that you've never done before. But sometimes detaching from our emotions and just getting a more objective look at things, and I think that's something that you're good at, Cancer, is looking at things relatively objectively. So kind of trying to get out of our emotions, compartmentalizing how we feel, and just being able to look logically at something. Doesn't really make it any easier, but it gives us a little bit of that kind of rational mind sort of energy that kind of helps keep the emotions away. And is this a good thing? Sometimes, maybe. If we can sort of ignore our emotions for a while, if they get too intense, we just detach from them a little bit, and we start thinking about it in a logical way, and it sort of calms us down a little bit. It helps us to prepare, I think. So this is one technique that you're employing. In the position of your environment, you've got the Eight of Swords, because no matter how much you try to look at this, you're not going to be able to see what this is. So we're sort of racking our brain here, and we feel kind of helpless because I don't know what to do here. I don't know what this is going to be like. Logically, I could look at it and say, okay, this is a Spartan race. I'm going to have to do a bunch of, climb up ropes and climb over walls and climb under barbed wire and, throw tires or whatever it is. I'm going to have to do all that stuff. Okay. But I don't actually know what the plan is. I don't know how I'm going to react. There's not really much I can do. I can research it. And so I think that this is really you, you're trying to watch as many YouTube videos about it as you can. You're trying to read the books about it. You're trying to analyze this. And we really get up in our head about it. And that's something that Cancers do, I believe, right? I'm a solar Cancer. I do this. That we try to intellectualize something so much in an effort to not feel so much about it, to not feel that overwhelming energy. And And so we start organizing, we start double checking everything, we prepare, and then we prepare again. We analyze everything continuously, obsessively, in order to try to avoid, feeling that feeling in any situation. But this card is also about rumination, that the more we're thinking about it, kind of the more anxious we get sometimes. So sometimes it backfires. Sometimes our attempt to be, we attempt to be a little stoic, a little detached. Sometimes it works. Okay, I feel calm. Okay. But sometimes it backfires and we end up ruminating and stewing on something. And it's still that attempt to try to intellectualize it. I want to get up in my head so I'm out of my heart, But it doesn't always work. Sometimes it just makes us more upset, right? And now the difficult card here, the position of the difficulty, the fear, worry, concern, is that we're going to break our promise. This is a fixed air energy. This is an Aquarius energy. This is the Prince of Swords. It is one of the Aquarius power cards. So it feels like we know that this is our path. We have this passion. We want to do this. We know that we're meant to do this. Okay? And we know that it's our destiny. We know that this is what we're supposed to do. But our confidence is waning a little bit. We're starting to feel like, oh my God, what if I back out? I can't back out. The difficult thing here is going to be to really keep our mind, keep our commitment. The difficult thing is going to be to just do it, to sort of tell ourselves that we're doing it and to just do it. Sometimes this is a card that says, I need to stop thinking about it. If I just ignore it, then when the day comes, I'll just go and do it and it'll be fine. We're torturing ourselves by worrying about it for weeks in advance, every day, obsessively and stewing about it. It's not even here yet. It may be a week away, it may be 2 weeks away or something. So there's kind of no point in thinking about it. So we maybe focus on something else, right? In order to just calm ourselves down. And then the day arrives and we just tell ourselves, go, and we go. Because what we're doing instead with these 2 prior weeks, we're talking ourselves out of it. We're trying to find reasons why I can back out of it. How can I? Maybe I don't care, but maybe I put down this big down payment. I don't care. I'll lose the money. Maybe, yes, I know this is my destiny. I know I'm supposed to do this, but I don't care about that stuff. Well, you do. You care about the money if you put a down payment. You care about the commitment. You care about giving your word. You know that this is part of your path. You know that this is what you're supposed to do. You feel it. Remember, you got this Knight of Cups. You have this passionate, you're pursuing something. Your heart wants this. Your mind is the one freaking out. Okay, your mind is the one freaking out. And now our final card is the Three of Swords. The outcome here is uncertain. The outcome hasn't happened yet because this day hasn't arrived. But the flow of energy here is, I put these in the wrong place. The flow of energy here is saying that if you don't do this, if we cannot overcome this obstacle, we're going to regret it. This is heartbreak. This is kind of like we're going to break our own heart here. If we don't do something, we're never going to forget it. If we don't do what we know we're supposed to do in this situation, if we don't follow our heart and be brave and go into this uncertainty and be the light and be strong and do this thing, we're never going to forgive ourselves. Right? We're never going to not think about that. This is one of those opportunities that if we let it pass us by, and 100 years from now, we're going to be thinking about it and kicking ourselves for it. So it's better to take a chance and confront this fear, knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do, and this is going to change your life. Even if you crash and burn, even if you do it and you hate it, or you fail at it, or it doesn't go the way you thought it would, whatever. Either way, it's changing you. And the regret is only going to come by not doing it. You're not going to regret having tried and failed. You're going to regret having given up and backed out because you were scared of it. I guarantee that. Let's look at our mystery card. I want to see the earth energy. I want to see a 9 of pentacles, a 10 of pentacles. Let's see what we have. A Queen of Swords. This one again. Trying to get that objective viewpoint. Trying to think of past, present, and future. Right? Put yourself into your future state, your future person. And look at the past. Look at the way you behaved right now today. What would your future self say to you right now? Would your future self say, it's okay, you don't want to do it. Just go ahead and stay home. It's fine. It's okay. Or would your future self say, just do it. It's not going to be that bad. Whatever it is, it's going to be good for you either way. Right? But let's ask ourselves that question. What would our future self tell us right now? Okay. And remember, you're being cradled by this divine energy. I feel like Spirit is supporting you in this. And I feel like once you get started, this fiery energy is going to activate. This solar energy is going to activate. And you're really going to shine. Right? It's scary right before you get on stage is scary. Once you get out there and you start performing, you start playing your instrument or whatever, that's when your true self shines and you get into it, you get into the vibe. And, I think your future self would say, just go and do it. See what happens. If it's this overwhelming and you're afraid of it, or afraid of the uncertainty, that right there is pretty much a confirmation that you need to do it. All right. Now, we need to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Cancer, usually Tuesday and Friday. This was, I think, something a little extra that you needed. Okay? Because I feel like this is the push that we need before we end up maybe doing something we'll regret. All right. Be sure to watch your Tuesday and Friday readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.